Welcome back to Last Week in the Prem. I get interrupted by a car honking outside. Welcome back to Last Week in the Prem, where we discuss everything that went down in the week that was in the English Premier League. And Jesus Christ, bro, in very few sports do you get the Super Bowl of the season 5 games into the season. And even rarer, it actually lives up to the hype. Bro, this game had it all. Arsenal versus Manchester City. 1 and 2 in the league for the last 2 years. The Master versus the Apprentice. Goals, drama, shit-talking, shit-housery. It was glorious. The game might just be back, boys. But let's let that simmer on the grill for a little bit. Let's get to the rest of the week real quickly before we get into the main course. Oh, and even before that, if you would like to see my reactions live and in real time, go ahead and follow me at thefatasian official on IG. I'm really close to hitting 4K and it'll be really appreciated. And I want you guys to know that every single one of you guys that subscribes to me is helping make a real difference. Not in anything important, but I'm newly single and girls really care about your IG count now. Like, I'm old. So if you want this fat Asian to get more bitches, then follow me on IG. Thank you. Thank you for your service. But alright, let's start off with some EPL teams playing in some non-EPL games. First off, Liverpool responded to their shock loss to Nottingham Forest last week by beating the shit out of Milan midweek. Yeah, in the Champions League, at least our boy, Pulisic. He opened up the scoring really early on. And Captain America has been doing pretty well. He also scored the opening goal in the Milan derby. I think it's safe to say that Captain America is playing in fine form in the land of tortellini. But not even his early goal could save them from the battering that Liverpool put them through. And I mean a battering. I'm talking like 1950s wife, alcoholic husband type of battering. Because Liverpool were ruthless on the counterattack. In my eyes, scariest counterattacking team in the world right now. Real Madrid on paper probably has the bigger name front three, but they ain't playing like Liverpool. A rare Pokemon appearance for one Cody Gakpo, who looked like international Gakpo out there. But he was playing in another country, so maybe that tricked him into thinking that he was playing for the Netherlands. But yeah, if Arne Slot can get the best out of Cody Gakpo, just watch out. I mean, this team is already scary as is. And then they follow that up with their game on Saturday up against Bournemouth, who gave him a little scare early on, but they weathered that storm. Then Luis Diaz broke through in rapid succession, grabbing himself a brace and putting them firmly in control. And my God, Diaz, he's like fully healthy now. You can tell that he is back to the form that he was in when he first joined Liverpool. That same type of player that is just a press machine, direct, clinical, incisive. Dude is locked in. He might be the best player for Liverpool at this moment. And yeah, I hate Liverpool, but I'm happy to see players playing at their best, I guess. And then the cherry on top of it for Liverpool fans, Darwin Núñez scores from an outrageous angle. A world-class shot that harkens back to the days when Fernando Torres was wearing the red. And with that, it's 3-0. Liverpool fan can breathe a sigh of relief. And now in retrospect, it looks more likely that the loss against Forest was just a bit of growing pains under a new manager and a new system. Because yeah, simply this has been an incredible bounce back 2 wins after that loss. So I'm so happy for you Liverpool fans. I'm so happy for you. You look fantastic again. So thus I had to look for my hate watch and my other usual suspect. What's up, Chelsea? Yeah, it was Chelsea versus West Ham up next. And unfortunately, apparently the Chelsea players have been energized by the thought that Todd Roly-Boly might be leaving their club soon because they took the Hammers out for a walk. Nicholas Jackson scored early on, making him the literal human personification of the shit guy scored meme. I mean, come on, look at this first shot. He hits it directly at the keeper and gets lucky. It goes through his leg. Second shot, though, it was a nice toe poke. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. But I still don't like you. And look at this Michael Jackson celebration. He does the Thriller in 2024, and it's a shit celebration. I'm just telling you now, I've seen white guys do that celebration better than him, and I mean that with all disrespect. But yeah, it's 2-0 early on, and just to cap things off, of course, we have to have Cole Palmer make things classy. You know, on a break, he receives the ball and airbends it around the keeper to make it 3-0 and hit his signature 2 chili celebration. That is all 3 points once again for Chelsea, and don't look now, but after their false start, Chelsea are up to 5th place and only 3 points behind league leaders Manchester City, with their only loss on the season coming to said Man City. Chelsea fan, come on, you're happy. I'm almost happy for you. If you didn't panic early on, Maresca ball is flowing. Todd Bowley might be out of the picture soon. Nicholas Jackson is actually scoring goals. What more can you ask for? Fucking Christmas in September. I've been saying it for a while. This team obviously is overflowing with talent. And it's early days, but can Maresca be the one to finally awaken this dormant giant? I guess we'll see. Next up, Tottenham versus the Bees.
Bees?
And you know what? The Bees swarm. Thomas Frank's men go up early on Tottenham. And what a fucking goal. Look at this volley, baby. Oh, scintillating. God, it must be so satisfying to hit this. God, I want a nut. And all the anxiety to this horror start of the season for them sets in. But Spurs do a very non-Spursy thing. They actually fight back. Yeah, they actually come roaring back. Dominic Solanke is finally healthy again. He's back in there. And what does he do? goes and scores a goal. Big moment for him. He was a big money signing for them in the offseason, and for him to get off the mark in the Premier League is huge. And since Super Weeb went ahead and scored, let's go ahead and play a game. Which anime pose did Dominic Solanke hit after scoring his goal? This one's a little bit tougher because he was interrupted right in the middle of it. I'll give you 1, 2, 3. Some might debate it, but I'm pretty sure he hits the arrow celebration that Sukuna does from JJK. Am I wrong, nerds? Let me know in the comments down below. Not too long after, Brennan Johnson, who was taking a lot of abuse during the week, goes ahead and totally redeems himself, making it 2-1. But it is Spurs, so nothing ever comes easy. The Bees get a couple more chances, and then late, James Maddison hits a delightful dink over the keeper to make it 3-1 and secure a much-needed 3 points for Ainge Postecoglou's men. And yeah, good win for Tottenham. Your big name signing was off the mark. You got 3 points. Hopefully, this is a turning point. Now, can you keep going? Random notes of the weekend. We're back on Everton watch, baby. You told me at the start of the season that I would have the most fun watching Everton this year. I would have told you to fuck off, but here we are. We are checking in on Everton every single week for the rest of the year. And for the 3rd weekend in a row, baby, Everton go up early. It couldn't. They couldn't do it again. They couldn't possibly do it 3 times in a row. And they didn't. They did not go 2 up early, which left the door a little bit easier for Leicester to equalize late. Time still on the clock. Would it be another last-second collapse for Everton? No, again, it wasn't. The game actually ended 1-1, which means Everton get their first point of the season, which means they are no longer rock bottom of the Premier League. They are instead now joint rock bottom of the Premier League. Yes, them and Wolves have 1 singular point, and both of them are a -9 goal differential. I knew it. I knew it all along. Sean Dyche, masterclass. He's gonna keep him up. You watch and see. Everton is not getting relegated. All right, back to the big boys, or I don't even know if I should call them big boys. Let's talk about Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. In good news, Manchester United scored 7 up against Barnsley in midweek, but it was Barnsley. Still, if I'm gonna be honest, over the past couple years, these are the type of matches that we randomly draw, and it's been like quite a while since we like totally skull fucked a team. So it was nice. It was kind of nice, not gonna lie. But the question would be, could they carry that momentum into the Premier League up against a very good Crystal Palace side? And they were trying something a little bit different in this game. They slotted Dalot into the midfield in the more of the Zinchenko role. And at first I was like, I don't know about this, but it was working. For most of the game, Man United were in complete control. They dominated possession, frequently slicing through Crystal Palace's defense, progressing the ball well, pressing well. It was complete and utter domination? Dare I say it? Manchester United looked like they knew how to play football. I don't know, I might have been drunk. Although, as well as they played, let us quickly have a moment of silence for Amad Diallo's testicles as he bravely defended up against the cross and took one in the family jewels. Undoubtedly, this young man's sperm count is lower because of it. I don't know why my mind thinks about this, but can you imagine like being a sperm in someone's balls and then all of a sudden just a leather missile comes and totally kills you? Just evaporates you from existence. I'm sorry, ignore me. But as liquid as Manchester United were playing, unfortunately, there was no end product, and the game ended 0-0. Admittedly, it was about as encouraging of a 0-0 that you could watch as a Man United fan, but still 0-0. And we'll take that because just a year ago, when we visited Selhurst Park, we lost 4-0. So, I mean, this is a stark improvement. You know what? We'll take that. My eyes aren't bleeding after 90 minutes. We aren't in hate watch corner. We take it. And also, randomly in the match, Lisandro Martinez decided to just do a 2-foot stamp on the ball. Why? Who cares? Because it brought us all these lovely memes. From the top rope, baby. From the top rope. Speaking of which, that only leaves me the 2 big teams of the week left for Hate Watch Corner. And this isn't even Hate Watch Corner. This is just Fun Watch Corner. The big game on the marquee. Manchester City versus Arsenal. I said it earlier, we're getting the Super Bowl only 5 games into the season. And I say that because the way that Manchester City has been playing for the past 3 years, Arsenal cannot draw. They definitely cannot lose. And in all honesty, they probably have to win in both of these games in order for them to win the league. Now, 2 big notes going into this match. No Martin Odegaard for Arsenal, but equally as important, no KDB in this one. He wasn't fully fit. But it didn't matter, because Erling Haaland is fucking inevitable. 8 minutes in, a Savinho ball, splits 2 Arsenal defenders, and not even the quick of foot William Saliba can catch up to the blonde mutant that is Erling Haaland. And the 24-year-old does the most fucking confident toe poke to the near post you will see. It's not even a cheeky toe poke, it's clinical, sterile, surgical. And just like that, that's 10 goals on the season with 5 games played, putting the young man to a total of 100 goals scored at Manchester City. He is the joint fastest player in history to make this mark a centurion of goals in 105 games. The only other player to accomplish this feat this quickly was one Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid. I said it last week, we are witnessing Ronaldo and Messi's numbers in real time and in a more competitive league. So yeah, just enjoy the moment. This is history. And trust me, to the kids that are watching this, when you're older, you will look back on this time and you will tell your grandkids about Erling Haaland. And this is coming from a Manchester United fan. But the mood would dampen for Man City significantly when possible Ballon d'Or winner Rodri went down with a non-contact injury. And it looked bad. He was grasping at the knee, which is never a good sign, and the early reports are he is most likely out with a major ACL injury for the rest of the season. This could be a huge turning point in the fortunes of Manchester City and Arsenal, not just in this game, but for the year. He is a vitally important linchpin for this team and Pep Guardiola's system specifically. And Arsenal took full advantage of it, because quickly after him being subbed off, they would pull one back. And the way they did it was spectacular, as Crispy Calamari made it 1-1. A spectacular left-footed sweep from outside of the box. It's a gorgeous goal if he meant it. And honestly, he was probably trying to cross the ball, but who the fuck cares? It's an outrageous goal from a defender, and in his first Arsenal start. What a moment for the kid. And it was in this moment that Pep Guardiola chose to make a statement and put his foot down on capitalism, showing his disdain for how advertising had infected every facet of the beautiful game. It was very brave of him. Thank you, Comrade Guardiola. But yeah, shit was just going nuts after this goal. Ederson got himself booked in protest. Calafiore is chest bumping with Arteta and screaming. And you're not going to hear me say this often. The atmosphere at the Etihad was electric. Yeah, this is the game that we've been waiting for, and we're getting it. And then, off of a set piece right before halftime, we get one of the funniest bits of defending you will see all season, with Kyle Walker jabbing at Gabriel's ribs repeatedly, just poking him, before absolutely losing him and letting him score. Oh yes. And all was right in the world before this fucking asshole had to go and fucking ruin it. Yeah, we were like in the 8th minute of injury time in the first half. Leandro Trossard gets called for a senseless second yellow, and Arsenal now have to play the rest of the game down to 10 men. Why do that, ref? Why? You don't have to make it about you. You know, just give them a final warning. And it was even more frustrating because they don't actually explain the call like in American football. They just do the card. So we were all confused what he got the yellow card for. And it has now been confirmed that it wasn't for the initial foul on Bernardo Silva, but it was because Trossard kicked the ball away after the whistle was blown. So this is the second time in this early season that an Arsenal player has received a second yellow card for preventing a restart. But oddly, that meant Arsenal had experience playing with 10 men. And Arteta went into the half, made the adjustments, and Arsenal come out to defend against the best pry-you-apart offense in the world right now. And what that gets you is going from an exciting, free-flowing, attacking game to a second half that is just the nastiest, scrubbiest, sweatiest 9-man low block that you have ever seen. Yeah, Manchester City set up in Arsenal's half and lay siege. The second half stats were just disgusting. It was like 90-10 possession. I don't even remember if Arsenal had the ball in the other half. But you know what? As we're watching it, we're like, this is kind of working. Wave after wave, long shot after long shot. But Manchester City cannot find a way through. Arsenal make it to the full 90. And deep into injury time, David Raya goes ahead and gets his hands on the ball and falls to the ground as he's swarmed by his Arsenal teammates who congratulate him like they just won the league. They weathered the storm, they managed the sending off of Trossard, and they were going to escape the Etihad, somehow taking 3 points and getting a 6-point swing in what will most likely be a razor-sharp battle at the end of the year. And in that moment, as he was surrounded by his Arsenal teammates, dapping him up, I couldn't help but think, they're celebrating too soon. There's still a little bit of time left. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. I think the best embodiment was this Arsenal fan right here.
Take your time with it. Take your time with it. Take your time with it.
Take your time with it. It was catchy. I'm not gonna lie. The issue was they didn't take enough time with it. There was still, indeed, time with it. And in the absolute last chance of the game, Jack Grealish takes the corner short and buys space for a shot on the edge of the box that ricochets and falls right into the path of John Stones, who sweeps it in at the death of the game. All of that discipline, all of that ankle-biting defending, all of that sweatiness was undone in a singular moment. And there's no other way to say it. Arsenal bottle it again. And to add insult to injury, after the goal, Gabriel goes ahead and puts his kit over his head in disgust. And for frankly no reason, watch Erling Haaland here. He goes and takes the ball and just pussy slaps it off of Gabriel's head. Apparently no one caught this, no one was carded. And yeah, just more glorious shithousery for Manchester Cities, who were already the villains. They're just embracing the role now. Game over. Possible season over. Better luck next year. And it didn't even stop there. After the game, Haaland is just caught on the hot mic, just talking shit. Getting up in the ex-Man City player Gabriel Jesus' face, calling him a fucking clown. I mean, the man just looked like the bully from every teen comedy in the 90s. It was Jordan and Kobe-esque levels of shit talk. And I have to be honest, I fucking loved it. The game is back. The game is back. Yes, he's an asshole, but I don't watch sports for nice guys. I watch sports for entertainment. And when two teams fucking hate each other, it just puts that extra spice on top. And if you don't like it, you can shut them up on the pitch. But once again, Arsenal bottled it when it mattered most. So you deserve this shit talking to. You had them, and you let them off the hook. And until further notice, you will stay Bottle Job FC. And that is going to be it for this week's Last Week in the Prem. How do you guys feel about Erling Haaland being such a douchebag on the pitch? Do you love it? Do you find it funny? Are you annoyed by it? Arsenal fan, let me know in the comments down below. It's probably not gonna be a safe space down there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Indian Man City fans, how are you feeling about the win? And as always, I'd like to go ahead, thank all my patrons, keep me alive and well during all these rough times. Special shout out to Elma Matai in the GOAT tier. Love y'all, love y'all. Mwah. Also, a personal shout out to my newest patron, Eric J. Thank you for the $5 pledge. I'll call you a mini GOAT. And yeah, until next week, boys, stay thick.